Ooh, yeah, it doesn't like that white balance. It's too dark still. Oh. Press on. Hello there, I'm Tim, and he's probably had a better night's sleep than I did. And this is How to Murder Feet. Southwest Coast Path Part 2, Day 5. Wednesday 16th May, could be. Don't know. Oh, what a night. So, I mean, on the plus side, hello, I'm alive. So, you know, the absolute worst didn't happen, but apart from that, it was a pretty terrible night. So, yes, my genius choice of pitch was, well, it was okay, but I hadn't really factored in gusting wind speed. I mean, the wind speed said there was going to be about 9 to 14 mile an hour, but it changed direction on me. So basically, yeah, it was all quite peaceful and restful and lovely up there until about 1 in the morning when I was woken by the tent booming somewhat, at which point I thought, oh crap. So I spent a panicky couple of minutes taking advantage of the excellent 4G coverage in my area of death to do a bit of surfing and a bit of Met Office website and such like. And what I'd forgotten to take into account is that gusting wind speed is, for 14 mile an hour, it said from the north, it probably would have been gusting to about 25 miles an hour, which is a different prospect. Then surfed a few camping websites to see, well, just, you know, I have this friend who's camping on a cliff top. What sort of wind speed is safe for tents and stuff? So a lot of these forum posts where people had asked similar questions were saying that probably 30 mile an hour they'd think about going away and not doing it. So and I thought, oh yeah, right. So ordinarily, if I was on a campsite somewhere inland, a mile inland in a flat farmer's field, I'd have just rode it out, to be honest. You know, probably wouldn't have got much sleep. It would have been loud and noisy and a bit annoying, but I wouldn't have bothered panicking too much. But obviously, given that I was on a sort of an area the size of a putting green, about 150 metres above sea cliff rock death, I thought, oh, okay, so I could just sit and wait it out, and that'll be fine up to the point where the wind just tears all the tent pegs out and drives me over the edge, and then I'll die, basically. So, you know, not good, not the best option. So the other plan B, which was to dig out my little head torch and set to. And it was amazing. I mean, yeah, stupid Tim for going up there in the first place. I probably should have listened to my better judgment before that became an issue. But I was such an adventure pro champ, sorting it all out, though, getting myself out of trouble again. So I was there calmly talking, literally out loud, talking myself through each stage, each next step of packing up in the most efficient way possible. Then somehow getting the tent down without losing the fly sheet off as a parachute across to the Scilly Isles. And get it all stored in the bag, got all the bits, got all them stuff stashed away, everything ready to go. Then, of course, the next day, difficult challenge, getting down off the goddamn mountain without killing myself. I thought, right, sensible thing here, don't go forward into the unknown, go back along the path that you sort of remember from before. So I managed to find the zigzag that I remember going up and thread my way back down using the hand torch again. You know, all thoughts of ninja camping stealth are off at this point, but it was fine because I'm not in sight of anyone or anything at this point. So, you know, it was only me to get myself out of trouble here, really. So I got down to the sort of the valley just below the hill there, and it was all a bit calmer, and, you know, no longer in any danger of being blown to my death. But I couldn't find any flat ground. It was all quite slopey, and it's dark. And yeah, the head torch is all right, but it's not going to be any use to set a whole tent up. So I thought, oh right, okay, now what? And so I ended up digging out all my waterproof clothes, which you can see me still wearing, and fashioning for myself a kind of wearable bivvy bag spacesuit type of arrangement to keep me warm during the night. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning by then. So at that point I was literally sleeping in a hedge. And I've been joking about that a lot. That was in the run up to this. Oh, I'm going to be sleeping in a hedge next week. Yeah, so actually was. Not that fun. Gorse bushes, if you must know. And it was all right, but the wind was still picking up, and it's still quite blowing quite hard across that valley. So I thought, oh God, I can't lie here all night. I'll freeze to death. I mean, it's not actually cold. It was only about like 7 degrees, I think, 7 or 8 degrees, but really persistent wind. So and of course, lying on the ground, heat bleeding out of your body. Anyway, so next step was to retrace my way back over another hill and then back down to here, which I remembered on the way, which is one of the little steppy style things, and a little wooden bridge and a sort of covered tree filled little mini ravine with a river running down the bottom of it. And I thought that'll be ideal. That'll keep me going till the morning, because the wind, it's fantastically sheltered from the wind. You've got the two hillsides on either side and the tree cover. It has really sort of helped a lot. And this wooden bridge, I figured wood's a fairly good insulator compared to mud or stone or whatever. So it will leach my body heat much more slowly. So I literally slept on this bridge, figuring that, at sort of 3 a.m, no one would be coming through. Using my backpack as a pillow, and my spare socks on my hands as gloves. Yeah. So, and I even managed to get a few hours sleep on there. I mean, I'm stiff and a bit cold and somewhat uncomfortable and grumpy, but it's now morning. I'm just waiting for the sun to fully come up, although it's going to be cloudy again today. But this is why it all looks a bit too dark and grainy on the film here, because it's not quite bright enough. So yeah, once I can see properly, this is the problem. It's being able to see before I forge on ahead, because it's a tricky, dangerous path at the best of times in good daylight and sun and stuff. The last thing I want to be doing was pushing forwards into the unknown in the middle of the night using only a head torch. So once I've got proper full vision again, which about another 20 minutes or so I think probably, then I'm going to start pushing onwards. So this whole episode I think I had about 3 hours sleep last night, but to be honest, with the wind like that, I think even if I was just in my tent on a safe bit of ground, I still would have been kept awake most of the night. So I think this is probably going to affect my speed a bit, my schedule. I'm just abandoning all pretense of getting the 6-day completion done now. We'll go for the full 7. I'm not going to try and push. So that, about 5 miles that way is Boscastle. So if I don't find anything before then, that's somewhere I can definitely get a hot meal and a cup of coffee or whatever, just to wake myself up and rejuvenate. I think once I get yomping along the trail and climbing and stuff, I'm probably going to have to start taking some of this gear off again, because you do get very warm doing all the steps, and that's kind of what I'm hoping, to be honest. My body will heat itself up from the inside. So yeah, Boscastle, then about 4 miles beyond Boscastle is Tintagel, which is the actual destination for the day. And I've already seen on the map there is a proper campsite there, so I probably will have another go at that. I mean, I could B&B it, but that sort of feels like an admission of defeat. I want to try and do the tent more than hotels, since I'm carrying the thing around, and I bought it new especially for this trip. So I'm not afraid of camping, and to be like I said, if I was on a flat pitch about a mile inland and it was that windy, I'd have just rode it out, to be honest. It's fine, because there's the what you got to lose at that point is a lot less. You're unlikely to actually die. I mean, obviously, I mean, if you set a tent up in a field anywhere and it hits 50 or 60 miles an hour, then you're probably screwed whatever happens. But it's not storm season. This isn't hugely windy weather. It's just it happened to coincide with a rather ill-advised choice of pitch. Still, you live and learn, and I flipping coped with it amazingly, because I'm still here and I'm still alive, and it was all good. It's very exciting, actually. It's real adventure stuff. Just me throwing all my wits and my resources to work my way down and work out what I got in my bag I can turn into warm things to wear. And it's very good. I'm feeling proper pioneer sort of person now. Although, don't do that again, Tim. So yes, Tintagel, I've seen a proper campsite that's in the village, so I'll find a nice hedge to set up behind or something, and just have another go at the tent there. I mean, in terms of warmth and stuff, I would have been fine if the sleeping bag, because the sleeping bag's really good. It's good sort of 3-season, good down to -1 degree apparently, not the Van Gogh one there. Ultra Pro Light something. Very warm and toasty once you're in, but and the tent itself is good at keeping the heat in also. But just couldn't just lie there and wait and just see what fate had in store for me. Seize fate, sort it out yourself. Anyway, so it's starting to get light enough to move on. I'm going to start heading along the trail, mostly as a self-preservational thing, just to warm myself up. Rain apparently around 11 to 12, so I'm geared for it. Everything in the bag is in carrier bags as well, so, and it's got a stretchy thing that goes up and over the top. I don't think it's going to be heavy rain, which is good, because I don't want the actual steps to become waterfalls or anything like that. I mean, that's probably a sign to abandon the trail, but I think a bit of light rain would be alright. Got me boots, they're waterproof enough. And just keep moving on. The plasters are all still holding well, that's all good. So exciting night, that I'm still undeterred from finishing the thing, although I probably will try and do it on schedule now instead of pushing ahead with reckless optimism. So I need to get moving, just to get myself warmed up. I've had an entire bag, like 150 gram bag of honey roast cashew nuts. So I'm all right for food and warmth, and I've got plenty of water. I filled up at the cafe yesterday. So we're all good, all in good. I'm in much better shape than I have any right to be, frankly. So let there be a salutary lesson to, well, me at least anyway. I guess you watching on YouTube and what have you were already going, no, don't do it, and you were right. So there we go. Let's put this whole thing behind us and move on. Oh, hang on. I'm rather high-spirited at the moment, as you might imagine. I mean, I just did the last 3 hills on sheer bloody joie de vivre, so... it's amazing how a near-death experience will sharpen the taste and savour of everything. I don't know. I mean, in all fairness, when I got out to start unpegging the tent, none of the pegs or gyrots had budged an inch, so it's entirely possible it could have survived, but I wasn't going to take that risk. I'm a winner. I'm a doer. I took the thing into my own hands. Yeah. It's that, you get that immediate short-term boof of adrenaline, that fight or flight. Gee, we got to do something. Oh, we're going to die. And, everything slows down. You're suddenly stronger and faster, briefly. That's all good stuff, but hard to do on demand or consistently. But there's a sort of philosophical aspect to it as well. I'm not going to go into details. Long time ago, I did a very silly thing. A massively embarrassing, awkward social faux pas in my current situation. So when I was in my 20s sometime, I did a thing that was really stupid, and everyone knew about it, and I was a laughing stock, I thought, or at least I was greatly ashamed in my own mind. And I went around for quite some time, hiding, avoiding people, fear, terror. And then, coincidentally and unrelatedly, about two weeks or so after that thing that had so tinied my world, so made me shrivel up and disappear, something else happened that I nearly died doing. Again, I'm being extremely vague here, obviously, but there was an absolute chance that I was going to die. I believed I was dying. I was going to die, and I didn't, because of reasons, because things worked out well in the end as it happened. But after that, I just totally forgot about the petty embarrassments and minor social faux pas of that preceding fortnight. And I just came out of myself and was just me, boom, hello. Because perspective. Because I thought, I just nearly died. I don't care what any of you people think about me or what I might or might not have done. To hell with it all. And it was all fine, because it turned out no one had cared anyway, so it was all in my own mind. There was no real reason to be embarrassed at all anyway. People were amused and that was it. Anyway, a long and extremely vague rambling anecdote, which basically goes to show that every so often people ought to nearly die because it sharpens things. I don't know. I'm not sure I really want to advocate that. Anyway, here I am, stood on a cliff top looking south. This might be High Cliff. I don't know. Was it High Cliff? There was a sign to High Cliff. Oh, I'm doing a power stance and everything. Look at me. Captain Adventure, hand on hip. Yeah, oh yeah. Anyway, in the distance, you can probably see Tintagel. That there is Tintagel. Tintagel being the legendary home of King Arthur or something. I don't know, there'll be some signs when we get there. And Merlin and so on. There's a actual cave called Merlin's Cave. Anyway, it's a sort of promontory, whatever it actually was in reality. I think in reality it was a monastery of some sort. Again, there'll be signs when we get there. And that's all on that little bumpy, sticky outy headland island there. And I think it's English heritage or something, so we might have to pay to go on there. So we may not actually be going on there, but we'll get lots of footage as we go near. And that sort of small block on the land next to it is a really big hotel, I think. Memories of like family trip there 20 years ago or something. 30 years ago now probably. Yeah, so it looks like it's all still there. So that's the end. That's today's destination. Doesn't look too bad. Gently sloping cliffs all the way down. I imagine there's a couple of down and ups, and somewhere in between is Boscastle, which is a whole other little town. I wonder if you can see the actual. On Boscastle they've got a sort of. Yeah, you can just about make it out. I don't think you can on the camera, unfortunately, on the phone, but. Maximum zoom already, but there's a tiny little sort of white castle thing on the promontory at Boscastle, and I can sort of see that. So I can make that out. So we got a bit of wild landscape to yomp through. I should be keeping quite far from the edge for the remainder of the day. I've done my time on the edge, I think, for now. So at the moment we're just going to go down there and up those steps and across, and I think is that a bench I see in the distance? A bench of the dead, maybe. Could be time for a sit and a sip of water. And I think most of the way there I shall be bawling out Heroes by David Bowie at the top of my voice in a very bad off-key manner, which I shan't bother subjecting you to. So there we go. Everything's great. It's funny that. Anyway, talk to you later. You wouldn't think horses could cope with 45-degree slopes, to be honest, but it seems right. He's been mooching his way up and down there as I've been trying to get down these stairs. There's a load of them in the field up above there as well. Horses and foals. Just largely unfazed by the sheer angle of the terrain. Scrubbing away on whatever they find. I suppose they eat gorse bushes. Don't know. There's be enough grass up there. I won't keep them on this place. Let's keep the vegetation down a bit. A few spots of rain starting in on me. It's only like 7:15, 7:30. I think I'm going to be in like Tintagel by 12. I need to slow down a bit, maybe. Hopefully when I get to Boscastle I can spend a productive few hours in a coffee shop caffeinating the crap out of myself, so that'll be useful. But yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not going to push past Tintagel. I'll just have to find something to occupy myself with if I get there really early. Because I think last night was a little bit too much wild camping, a little too wild for me. So I'd quite like some conventional camping tonight. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So yes, down and up, down and up. It's not too bad, this one. I mean, it's massive, but the ascent on the far side seems to be quite staggered. Quite a lot of zigzag. Fairly easy gradient. It's going to take a while, but it's not going to kill me getting up there. Not like the old 1,000 steps that you see on some of these. Not seeing anybody on the trail. I mean, yeah, say 7:15, 7:30. Most people are still noshing into the bed and breakfast stuff. So probably won't see anyone on the trail till 9 or 10. Usually see them around sort of clustered between sort of 11 and 1 coming the other way, which is usually, people who are doing the day stage. They'll start to pass me in numbers, but then it peters off again around 4 or so. It's people get to bus stops or whatever to get back to hotels. Me, I just keep on trucking. Speaking of which, off we go. Tense standoff there. Had to use all my powers of diplomacy to get through. I think the main thing is not to get between the small ones and the big ones. Get between an animal and its young, they tend to get all suddenly very brave. So just a big long wide arc around. Of course it's hard to know which one belonged to who, but there you go. Yeah, big wide arc around them. They just shuffle out of the way. It's all good. Came from over there, going to over here. Rain seems to have let up a bit, so that's good. Yeah, should be coming into Boscastle soon. I could really do with a cup of coffee. And maybe a cake or a fry up. Or the possibilities are endless in Boscastle, which may be over there somewhere. Don't know. That last down the up was really outstayed its welcome. That was enormous. Hopefully we're running along the top for a bit now. That'd be nice. But you know what hope does? Yeah, puts H in front of. I don't know. I am too exhausted for aphorisms today. So yes, carrying on. Stumbling a bit as well. Good. There we go, rugged enough for you. Just come down off the top of there and round. Not down then up, I'm pleased to say, since that involves the sea. As you can see, seagulls on top of there nesting. Safe little rock. And this bay stretches across to another headland over there. I think Boscastle might be beyond that one. We'll see. I've learned not to get my hopes up too much. Cornwall. Oh, you are kidding me. That's well, about as insane as what I tried last night. He's clearly more confident with his peg work. Good lord. And he was a bit more sheltered this side, I suppose. Wow. I take my hat off. That is exemplary ninja camping. I'll get a shot from the other side as well. I'm going to sneak past it. Still there. Astonishing. Puts my late night panic attack into perspective. There are some brass tent pegs right there. Alright, well I'm hoping this down and up will put me on the last hill before Boscastle. You can see this little white thing, castle thing there. The Boscastle castle. I think on the other side of it. So, yeah. Head down. And all day breakfast awaits, hopefully. I can't stop watching. Any minute now, it's just gonna, woof, off he'll go. There he is, he's out and packing up. My God, I mean, you can probably hear how windy it is on the old microphone there. I mean, don't you get that, like, oh, where am I? This isn't my bedroom. Early morning first reaction. I don't know, I guess he thinks it's safe enough. Must be some technique, something like double pegging or something. I don't know. Didn't see any guy ropes either. Like a dome type of affair. Blimey. Anyway, look here, more Cornwall, and there's a waterfall there. Swoosh. There was a farm cafe on the top there, but I decided to forego that and head straight to Boscastle, which I'm pretty sure is definitely over this hill. So yeah. I could really just do with a sit down and a lot of coffee, because it's been quite a morning. And the rain can't decide if it wants to start or stop, so that's good too. Yeah, keeping moving on. Yeah, and here we are, Boscastle Harbour. It's the white tower thing on the hill. Famous for some quite apocalyptic flooding in the mid-2000s. You can probably Google for the Boscastle flood. Probably find news articles and TV footage of it. Torrents of water carrying whole cars down the central main street and into the harbour here. Quite startling. Seems all right now though. Yeah. Big centre for mystical stuff, New Age crystal shops and all that kind of thing. Palm reading for some reason. I don't know. Ley lines or something. What I'm more interested in is an all-day breakfast, preferably with fried bread. Do you even get that as an all-day breakfast option these days? Really unhealthy, but I just really want some fried bread right now. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'll at least have some coffee down there, so I'm going to force myself to take a couple of hours of just sitting around doing nothing, let the feet dry out a bit, they've gotten a bit wet, and get a decent breakfast. Just veg out a bit. Because Tintagel's only about 4 or 5 miles further along the coast, so that'll be another 2 hours and I'll be there. So yeah, made some good time this morning. It's only about 8 o'clock I think. Mind you, that's what not sleeping overnight generally does for you. Good early start. Right, I'm going down there and I'm going to eat something and drink a lot of coffee. Toodle bit. Oh, so that was Boscastle. Okay, Mysore conquered. That's the Museum of Magic and Witchcraft there. Yeah, one of a few I think. Go figure. So yes, went and found a hotel restaurant thing doing breakfast still. Ordered a double jumbo breakfast and then was completely forgotten about, which sort of worked for me really in a way, because it meant I got to sit indoors in the warm for an extra half an hour without having to buy anything extra, and then they threw in my coffees for free as an apology, so I got 2 free coffees and an extra half an hour sitting in there drying out and getting warm. Breakfast when it arrived was enormous. I think I maybe overestimated a bit there. Anyway, I'm moving on. Going up the hill, so turns out, checking the maps and stuff, got here at 10, not 8, because I'd done most of today's hiking already, 3/4 of the way. So another 1/4 of the way towards to Tintagel here. Don't know what the mileage is, probably 3. Where I intend to book into a campsite that I've seen on the map. At like around about midday, 1, something like that. And then just going to put the tent up and then have an afternoon nap. Try and catch up on my sleep a bit. Get up in the evening. I know I had so much to eat for breakfast, all day breakfast, that I probably only want to grab a few snacks from a local convenience store or something, local co-op or whatever, and then sleep a load more. So, which will then put me in good position to push on to Port Isaac tomorrow, which again is only about 10 miles. And after that is Port Isaac to Padstow via the Rock Ferry. Rock. And that's another 10 miles. Both days of which should be in glorious sunshine, I hope. According to the weather anyway, in the report. I mean, this is pretty miserable. See, I've got my big red thingy stretched over my backpack because I think the rain's getting serious. But I couldn't mind just spending the afternoon in my tent in my bag with my my sleep socks on that are dry my feet, and just recuperate a bit from last night's hijinks. God, look at it all. There's the people in anoraks shuffling around the arts and crafts galleries. Not a great day for visiting Boscastle, to be honest. I mean, for me, as incidental, I had to come through here anyway, but I'd be quite disappointed if I made this the point of my visit and it was raining like this. Still, on we go, up and over. Probably a few more up and downs this afternoon. I'm just going to trudge on with grim determination. My feet are pretty much soaked through now at the moment, so that's probably not great. I need to make sure they get dried soonest. I don't actually have a towel. I mean, what kind of hitchhiker does that make me? But I do have dry fluffy socks that are tucked in the bottom of my sleeping bag, which will do the job for my feet. So yes, basically get to Tintagel, find this campsite, hope it's a tenty campsite. Most of them are. And it showed a picture of a caravan and a tent on the map. Pay up, get the pitch. Well, I was trying a cash machine as well, might be an idea. Probably one in Tintagel. Just get pegged out, get set up, and then just... The wind's died down a fair bit, and I imagine the campsite in Tintagel is going to be a bit more sheltered than... anyway. So, yeah, I'm quite looking forward to a bit of an afternoon nap as soon as I arrive, really. And then, yeah, surface around surface around 6 or 7, have a wander around, get some snacks, and then go back to sleep again, and just try and recuperate as much sleep as possible for my remaining 2 days ahead after today. Feeling optimistic though, still on track, still think I can do it. Anyway, it's easier to finish than not now. I think Padstow's probably the big major place I need to get to for any kind of travel anyway, so might as well just trudge on to the end. There's about 23 miles left in total now, which in the past on other days I've done in one day, so you know, it's not a terrifyingly insurmountable challenge ahead now, and I'm reasonably okay. I mean, I could do with a couple of weekends of not hiking after this, I think, let my feet recover, but I should still be able to walk to work and drive a car, so that's alright. Anyway, it's getting a bit rainy, so I'm going to put the camera away now, and I shall see you later. What you do on your week off, Tim? Oh, you know, went to Cornwall. Oh yeah, was it nice? Yeah, so. Do anything good? Yeah, you know, just relaxed. Oh, it's like the end of the earth. There's a certain poignant, elemental, romantic savagery about it all, but me, I just want my sleeping bag, frankly. Oh god, I can still see that sodding mountain where I made the ill-advised camping site there, the second to last one. God, that really was stupid. Hey-ho. Alright, camera away, getting wet again. Right, well, this is quite interesting. Rocky Valley, apparently. I think you can see why. An interesting load of sticky outy rocks all up and down this valley. It's almost movie set worthy. Probably featured in something or other. Doubled as Vancouver for a Stargate episode or something, I don't know. Some stairs on the far side, rather ominous. Yeah, I need to be down and back up the other side. You can see a tiny, tiny man on the top there. That's where I'm going next. Not until I've had a good sit down, proper 15-minute job and all. It's been quite hard going. Short distance from Boscastle to Tintagel, but I really am bushed, so trying to just plod on, you know, get in the zone. I think the rain's decided to give up. It's just spitting now and then now, mostly out of spite. So I can lose the coat, which means I'll cool down easier, which means it should help. Yeah, shame really. I was just more alert and awake and able to appreciate this a bit better. Still, there you go. I mean, it's 640 miles of coastline. I can't examine everything. I'd appreciate all of it. Just got to walk. So I reckon I'm, I don't know, 1-2 miles away now probably. And then I have to shuffle through Tintagel village, see if I can find a cash machine, or see if the campsite takes chip and pin swipey or whatever, or if it even takes tents. If it's purely a static caravan type of affair, then I might just break down and cry. No, what I'll do is I will just say sod it and find a B&B. The only thing I'm not doing is wild camping tonight. I can wait till tomorrow. I need a proper night's sleep, somewhere where I can lay in and sleep early. Don't have to be furtive about it all. And then we can resume normal service the day after. I don't know what time it is. So we get on for 1, I suppose. Lots of people about, exploring the Rocky Valley. Good. There it is, Tintagel Castle. Legendary home of Camelot and King Arthur and stuff. That's Merlin's cave underneath. Just to give you a bit of view. There you go, Merlin's cave on the bottom there. We got some fortifications there, some terrace gardens along the side, more stuff along the top. There's a adjoining bailey or something there, and you can see the big grey hotel. No, take my word for it, on top of the cliff. Yeah, made it. Good old plod that last session. In the zone there, really. Wasn't really paying much attention to any of it. Yeah, good. Right, now to find the campsite. I'm a terrible tourist guide. Here we go, here's some more stuff. Many places in Britain are linked to the legendary stories of King Arthur. Tintagel Castle, Cornwall, where Arthur was conceived. We got Caerleon, Monmouthshire, where Arthur held his court. South Cadbury, Somerset, where Camelot was located. Dosmary, Poole, Cornwall, where Arthur received Excalibur. Oh, what's that one say? Slaughter-Bridge, Cornwall, where the Battle of Camlan took place. Winchester, Hampshire, where the Round Table hangs. Glastonbury Abbey, Somerset, where Arthur was buried. There we go. Don't take my word for it. Right, I really have got to go and find a campsite now because it started to rain again. I'm very tired. Place is overrun. Yeah, so it's 3:45 in the afternoon, and here I am in Shatum, all set up on a proper campsite. £6.50, very slopey. I don't care. So I've set up somewhere I'm allowed to be, and I'm going to have an very early night. So yeah, an exciting day all in all, up and down. Should be good weather tomorrow, sunny for the rest of tomorrow and the last day as well, 6 and 7. So I'm just going to sit here listening to the radio, eating snacks and sipping amaretto until I nod off. So shall see you later. Goodbye.